So with nose augmentation, we can look at basically 3 angles, number 1, number 2, and number 3. In order to minimize vascular accidents, never use a sharp needle, always use a cannula. So in order to minimize risk, always use a cannula, never use a needle. Always stay in the midline of the dorsum of the nose. And also remain below the SMAS on the perichondrium or periosteum. So what I'll do is when I have to mark it, this would be my entry point. Very nice general entry point in the midline. And then with my calcium hydroxylepatide, I will stay in that midline, go all the way to the number 1 angle. So from here, the tip, you can treat number 1 angle, number 2 angle, and if necessary, also number 3 angle. In this case, I will only treat the number 1 and maybe just a touch in number 2 angle. So I will skip the hump over here. And how far can you go? Because if you go too high up, you will create this continuous line between the forehead and the nose tip. That's of course not aesthetic. There has to be some angle over here. Can you open your eyes? So the angle, looking from the side, should be about here, because this is the lash line. This is where we take the top of the lashes, they meet over here. So this is as far as I could possibly go with my calcium hydroxylepatide. I'll make a small blab of anesthesia. And as you can see, this needle's just, or this cannula is just a bit short to reach the number 1 angle, but we can use the compressibility, the flexibility of the nasal tip to advance the cannula a bit further. This cannula is easier to control because it's less flexible and more rigid. So I go into the pre-hole and then move immediately underneath the SMAS. Advance the cannula in the midline all the way to the number 1 angle. Over here, we want to go underneath the procerus muscle. And when you start to inject, keep some pressure on the supratrochlears, just as a nice routine, just, to make sure that you think about possible side effects. And then there's a number 2 angle. Okay. You okay?
Yes.
And due to the high viscosity of this product, it will remain in the shape that you injected in. And it will be very long-lasting as well. So looking from the side, there is a perfect straight line. You can mold it, massage it. So it's very easy, very straightforward, but you have to be aware of the danger zones.